Hello and welcome to another episode of the Live the Way series. Today we'll have Vaidya Veena Balkrishna to throw some light on women's health. So without further ado, Dr. Veena, thank you so
Hello.
much for accepting my invitation to be here today.
Thank you. Uh,
So you live in Portugal, and I believe you're still the only Portuguese-born Vaidya. Now, I know the situation is a bit different now with the COVID-19, but tell us a little bit about the work that you do with Ayurveda.
Here I do consultations, and I keep doing online consultations to whoever is interested in. I also do courses and workshops and talkings when people invite me and when they are interested. So that's what I've been doing about Ayurveda in Portugal.
That's great. I left a link about your website, Samayur. So if you guys are interested to know a bit more about the work and follow Dr. Veena, you can follow that. So today we have a double expertise on the topic because not only you're an Ayurvedic doctor, you're also a woman. So in that context, in your experience, what do you think that Ayurveda can actually bring to the table when we talk about the topic of women's health?
It's a very vast topic, so we can talk about a lot of things since we are babies till we are old, right? About the woman itself, we can talk. There are so many different topics like the menstruation, the pregnancy, before pregnancy, after pregnancy. So also menopause. Menstruation problems or not, or TPM. TPM we say in English, I think.
PMS, I think.
Yes,
PMS.
yes, exactly. Also, hormonal imbalances. We can talk about that. So, and we use not only plants, but also lifestyle. It's very important what we eat, and in that we can see sometimes if there is an inflammation, for example, we just need to remove certain kind of foods. And an example, a lot of women, they have pain during menstruation, and it's very simple. Sometimes, not always, okay, and it depends the degree of the pain, but it can be solved, I would say.
So in terms of, let's say, you mentioned menstruation, so some women have no general complaints, but there's a lot of people with either irregular or heavy, scanty or painful menses. Is this normal situation that some women just going to have to learn how to live with it, or does it mean that there's some kind of imbalance going on?
Well, what I see nowadays is that the women, they don't learn how to live with the pain. They just take a painkiller, which is different. Yeah? But I would say that there are ways that we can live without the pain, okay? Or with the pain that we can live with it, that we are able to do our daily routine, okay? So I would say, no, there are a lot of things we can do. You want me to give you examples, or?
Yeah, sure. Like from an Ayurvedic perspective, like if you very simply to people to understand what's happening with their bodies and why some of the reasons why there would be pain and all those things.
Okay, so it depends why the women have pain. Yes, it can be because of a cyst, which I think it's very deep topic. So let's not go through, but let's see in a general way. Usually it's because of a panavayu, which is a kind of vata. And if we think about vata itself, it's nervous system, okay? And it's cold, the property, okay? So what we do, the women, when we feel pain, we need warm. So one of the good things, and it works also for me, because sometimes I also have that, it's to drink cinnamon tea. Let it boil, the tea, for not the powder, but how do you say
The
the
stick,
real
cinnamon stick?
yes, exactly. Let it boil for some time and then drink like 2 glasses. And I would say that it's good for the pain. It reduces. Then another thing that helps a lot is relax. Yeah? And when we have months that we have a lot of work, we have a lot of stress, yes, that we cannot settle and have more earth, okay? Is it clear what I mean? More earth, more
the earth element,
yes?
more grounding, more grounding.
More grounding, exactly. It's normal that we feel pain because it's related to the nervous system, vata, and we never forget that our basis. So we need to ground ourselves. So one of the good things is to give oleation, to do massage to ourselves, and receive. It's also good to give to ourselves because it grounds us, but also to learn how to receive, because there are a lot of women that they just give a lot. For example, they take care of the family and they forget themselves, and that's very important. It's to also to be able to receive and take care of us. So these are 2 very simple things that I would say it works as a when it's not too painful. Okay. Then it also depends on the situation. See, this is it's better to be more
general. Yeah.
Yes, more general.
So, and if I would ask the same type of question, but regarding the PMS, the premenstrual syndrome, would there be similarities about what's happening in the body and how can you deal with it? Is it something that all women are going to have to go through it, or there's ways that you can actually ameliorate that process that's happening on a monthly basis?
That's because the hormones are not in balance, right? It's it's chaotic, and that's again vata. Okay, sometimes related to pitta as well, because the woman gets more angry more easily at that times, but it's mainly vata again. So I would go again to the same oleation. It's very, very good, yes. And then primrose oil. Have you primrose?
Yeah,
it's yes. Yeah. Primrose oil is very good for hormonal imbalance. And then we have this we can find easily, I think, everywhere. Primrose. But then if we talk about Ayurvedic medicines, there is M2 tone, which is very good as well. Shatavari, it's great, but then it depends also if the woman is a little bit more strong. Not always Shatavari is the best. So it depends on person to person. Yes, this is just for the woman to have an idea and to know her body better. So I would say in this case, instead of using supplements, okay, better to use them when you see a proper doctor or a Vaidya, a technician, whatever how you call it. But and do the massage. There is an essential oil which is Salvia sclera. That's the have you heard about it?
I don't know the English word, but I can search for it and I shall leave it on the comments here from the video so that people can look at it.
Okay, thank you for that. Yes, that's very good. So when you do the massage, you can do it with this essential oil. Also lavender, because it balances the body. Okay, so it's good also if the person likes it. See, we need to see if the person likes. It's very important. And again, if the person does the oleation and she doesn't like to, then she needs to take a shower, like to remove the extra. So always need to do the thing that the person feels it's good for her body to balance her. Okay, because if we do the massage and then we don't feel good with ourselves, no, we need to manage and see what's according to the person. So TPM, these are the M2 tone works very good, and these two things, what I told you is good. Then again, food. If we talk about food, things which are going to increase too much pitta, it's better to reduce at that time. Why? Because if the women have the tendency to get angry easily, then it's a time that you need to be careful with. And when I talk pitta food that increase pitta, it's salty, spicy, and acidic foods. Okay, but then we need to see if the woman has her menstruation every month. If she doesn't, then, and also again I repeat, it depends. Okay, but in general, that's what we need to be careful. Okay. And another thing nowadays is the gluten. If we have pain, or if we have, how you say, TPM? No, TPM.
PMS.
PMS, yes. Then I would suggest to reduce or to remove gluten. And if they want to be slowly in that, first remove the trigo, the wheat.
Yeah.
The wheat. Remove the wheat because it's a transgenic usually, so it's better to remove it. See if it helps, and if not, then the gluten. Yes, because it works a lot with our hormones. So this is something that I would suggest in the case of these two situations, pain and
PMS.
Yes.
So it seems like when we talk about Ayurveda, there's always a lot about self-knowledge and self-care. And it's something that we see around that women sometimes are not doing enough for themselves. Getting in touch with their body, getting to know their body, how it works, and then having the time or the care to take care of them. So it seems even by your wonderful suggestion that it's a lot to do with like that self-care and getting in touch with their own bodies.
Oh, yes, that's very important. It's very important. I have many patients that the women mainly that they forget themselves. And they might have problems not even related to the woman itself, okay? But for example, even skin problems, which is not the topic today, but just an example, okay? Or it can be menstrual problems. But many times is related to herself, okay? Because we forget to take care of us, and the woman takes care of the kids, the husband, the work, and it's a lot. It's a lot of things to take care, and she forgets herself. How many patients I see in that situation? And the main thing we need to do, it's not treat just a symptom, but to see where can we ground her. And once she feels more grounded, then the situation it's easier to solve because it's just a symptom. Yes? Okay, so go to the main cause.
Sure, thank you. When you think about in Ayurvedic terms, how do you see the use of menstruation cups or tampons or even birth control to stop the menstruation? What do you think, from your opinion as a doctor, what would be the best option, or the least invasive, and the one that doesn't mess with the natural flow and the natural systems of the body?
Well, when someone asks me about contraceptive pills or a whey, okay, this is one topic, then the other is the cup and the tampons, and okay. So about the contraceptive, if they ask me, I say, well, the person needs to know how they feel better. Okay, I cannot judge if they want to take it or not. What I say is, for me, okay, it's if I'm gonna take a contraceptive pill that I don't have my menses every month, that's not normal, okay, because it's a cycle. It's normal that we clean, and they say it doesn't have side effects. Well, in long terms, we don't know. What I see, it's more and more we see situations of infertility, women and men as well. Okay, so I'm not really sure if it doesn't have side effects. Then there are the other pills that a lot of women take because they have pain, because they have irregular, because they have PCOD, polycystic ovarian. Well, if they take because of that kind of things, then I would say we can treat them. Okay, there are ways Ayurveda can help with that instead of taking a contraceptive pill that has side effects. Okay, for example, one of them is Verish. How do you say Verish?
I'll look for it. I think it's varicose veins.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Okay, or swollen feet. A lot of women have that. So these are side effects of the pills. Others, they don't have anything and they live fine with it. So I think the woman needs to feel what it's better for her. And there are a lot of women that they feel good with it and they are lucky. And that there are others that no. So maybe better to think about other ways. Then if it's a contraceptive as a method, okay, well, it's not 100% sure, but it's one of the ways that it helps. There are other ways, in a natural way that I know, like as much as efficient as contraceptive or the rubber, how you say, condom.
Condom.
Yeah. These two nowadays is what people use the most. Natural ones, I can't really tell you something that I would say it works, you know. I know we use some plants for it, tea of hibiscus, for example, or we can do put some oils in the tampon and introduce, you know, to help. But see, you're already doing something that it's done. You know what I mean? Yes. So I can't tell you more about that. It's just my opinion. Then about the use of the cup or the use of the what else did you?
The tampon or the pads. Which one would be the best option?
Well, if I go to the beach, I wouldn't use a pad. Yes, and nowadays it's like you go to the beach with your menses. Before we didn't even used to go. That's something that the days you have your menstruation, you stay home. You know, the woman doesn't work, she doesn't cook. It's in India it was like that. Nowadays it's not. We keep doing our things. Yes. So again, it depends on women to women. There are a lot of women that they feel good with the cup. There are others that they don't adjust themselves. But I would say if you use a tampon or a pad, it's better to use a good quality. Okay, try to use it organic cotton, and that's what I have to say about it.
Thank you. Yes. Okay. So if we move now from the topic of the menstruation and the PMS, and if we talk about some more serious complications, these days we see a lot of cases of ovarian cysts and endometriosis and other serious complications. Like what is happening? You already spoke a little bit about it, but what's happening? Is it our environment? Is our lifestyle? Is it a combination of both? What do you think that what's causing this rise in these cases regarding women's health?
Well, I think it's lifestyle, what we eat. See, endometriosis, it's related to our hormones. Okay, there is an imbalance, and we start producing tissue where we shouldn't. Okay, we start feeling excessively tired. Women don't know what they have, but they feel tired, you know. And what we eat, what we do, what we breed, it's very important. Most of us live in the city, we hardly see the sea, which is so good, the pure air of the sea. And nowadays, even that's not always. So these are things that we think it's not. It doesn't make impact. It doesn't have impact on us, but it does have. The atmosphere where we live, it's very important. And I feel that when I go to Lisbon, and see, Lisbon is a very small, not a small town, but it's not a big town like Toronto, for example, or Mumbai. It's Portugal is a small country, and I feel the difference in my breathing when I'm there than where I live, which is a small city in Portimão near the sea. So this makes a difference. Also, what we eat. See, when we like to eat fast food. It's easy, it's practical, it's tasty, So let's go. Why not? It's just there. We just go call and people bring it. But this has an effect. And the way I know it has an effect, it's an effect on us. It's when I eat that kind of food, which is very rare. But I have a son, 8 years old, and he's like every kid, he likes his pizza. So, okay, we go and eat the pizza. And when I eat healthy and then I eat these kind of things, I feel my body. I feel more irritated. I feel like much more imbalanced than when I eat good food. And this related to food, to what we breed. It's important. It's important your house atmosphere is good. You open the windows, you get sun. How many people they work inside and they don't even see the sun, It's so important. It's so important for our hormones, women and men, for all of us. Sun is something so important. And we forget that. Okay, then we say a lot of people don't have vitamin D. A lot of people have deficiency. Yes, we do have, because even when we eat, we are in front of the laptop or TV or mobile phone, and this doesn't make us feel what we eat. Once my mom told me, "Oh, you should cook something which is more tasty, with more taste, because your son likes tasty food." And I looked at her and I told her, I like simple food, because not that I don't like the other one, okay? But I prefer in my daily basis to eat simple food, because then when I can taste the things, okay, without a lot of salt, but put a little bit of salt, a little bit of spices that help for your digestion, but not too much. And this is better for you to feel. And when you start feeling the small things like the taste, then you start feeling another things around you. Does it make sense?
It does a lot of sense.
Huh? So the breathing is the same thing. We need to breathe. We just breathe from here. We need to go deep. And this is so important, to deep breathe or meditate. And so many people, they say, "I don't know how to meditate." Oh, it's just think about your thoughts. What are you feeling at night? Did you do good? Do you feel angry? Do you feel happy? Sometimes it's enough for you to understand yourself. Feel what are you feeling without judgment. Okay, not every day I sleep calm and happy. No, I have my days that I say, "It was a difficult day. I should have done different with my son," or I should, we are all humans. And when we look too many hours to Facebook, Instagram, whatever, and we think everyone has a perfect life, everyone has their own things to deal with. So these are small things that in a day, it doesn't take a lot of time, but it can help for us to be more grounded and to understand what's happening inside of us.
So it's very interesting that we're speaking about women's health, but at the same time we're speaking about health in general. And it seems that what they're calling now lifestyle diseases, that so many things could be prevented if we do whatever you just mentioned. So it seems like we're in a huge disconnect, first within ourselves and with the nature around us. And that's actually, if you were to think about it, the main cause of most of the health problems we're actually living these days. So thank you so much for those tips that we can all put in practice right now. And like you said, it doesn't take much and it doesn't cost any money. So it's perfect.
Yes, it's true. It's easy, I would say. Mm-hmm.
So talking about menopause, sometimes menopause, it seems like it's like a problem that women have, or it's like a disease, something that you have to go through, but it's just even just a phase that women go through. But if I put the question similar when we spoke about before, are all the symptoms related to the process of menopause, will that be inevitable for some people, or there's something that we can actually do to ameliorate that process of that phase that women go through?
Well, there are some women, they pass through menopause and they don't feel anything. Others do. And I would say it depends a lot, first, on how the woman can manage the situations. For example, not related directly, but for example, when they have the hot flush, the hot flushes.
Hot flashes, yeah.
Yes. I remember my mom; she used to remove everything, and some women they deal with it fine; they don't have problems. Other women they really feel irritated; they really don't manage with it very well. Other way they have a lot, others. So it depends on person to person. That's something that it's most of the women they don't feel comfortable having these hot flashes. But then there is other things like they get more irritated, the hair starts falling. So these are they start to have very dry skin, dryness in the vagina. This is very common as well. So according to the symptom, we can we can reduce the symptom. Okay. For example, when you have the first symptom was the hot flashes. So the hot flashes, and also when you get more irritated, one thing that I spoke before is the oil, onagro, we say it in primrose oil. Okay, this oil is very good. Up to now, it has helped a lot of women that I suggest when they have the hot flushes to take primrose oil, and it reduces a lot. Not always 100%, but quite a lot. Then other thing we can give is amla, because the property is cold and it balances as well. Okay, it has a lot of vitamin C. It's a good rejuvenator, we would say, antioxidant. And so these two things is good. There are many others. One of them is shatavari, but again, shatavari we need to be careful, because for women that they have tendency to put on weight, shatavari needs to be given with care. Okay, because sometimes that happens. So we usually don't give in that situation, exactly because it can increase weight. That's another situation that they start to increase their weight. Some a lot, others not so many. Well, it's normal that a body of a 50, 60, 40, depends, years old, it's not the same when we are 20. Okay, so it's normal that we put on weight, and we should like it somehow. But then one thing, it's put on weight 5, 6, 7 kgs. Another is to put on weight suddenly 20 kgs. Okay, and when that happens, is because there is a big changes in the hormones, and that we need to understand if it's just the hormones, if it's the metabolism that is decreasing a lot. Okay, so for that, exercise is very good for the metabolism not to stop and then keep on. But with that, we need to be careful with what we eat and regular the hormones. Okay, and here it comes the wheat again. Okay,
Actually, there was a question here on the comments asking about why stop the wheat. What's the problem with the gluten? So if you continue, if you can just answer the question, it would be
okay. Well, gluten is first the wheat. Wheat is something which is usually transgenic. Okay, it's already very processed. And because of that, as much processed it is, it's worse for our body. Does it make sense?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Let me think of other. Now I'm not remembering exactly other things, other kind of foods, but there are foods that have their original way of growing, and others that's not so much. For example, strawberry. The strawberries before it was on the ground. And nowadays you see strawberries from up. Yes, so these are ways of having the fruit or the wheat that they are being grown very fast in a very fast way, and they are already mutate. They mutate. Yes.
Yeah.
So when we have this kind of situation, I would say it's better to avoid that ingredient. Or corn, for example. Okay. Then the gluten. The gluten is something that it's not for everyone. Okay, but in general, gluten, it is said that it glues to our intestines. And many people, when they eat gluten, they feel tired, very tired. Why? Because intestines, we say it's very related to our brain. So it's like the brain gets foggy because your intestines can't work properly. And it starts to ferment. And what happens in our body when it starts to ferment? Inflammation starts. And it doesn't have to be, this is important to understand, it doesn't have to be in your intestine. It will happen where your body have a weakness. Okay? Does it make sense?
Yes, very.
Yes? Yeah. So basically, that's why I said about the wheat and then the gluten.
Perfect.
Okay? But then I didn't say, because for me it's obvious, but everything which is packed, okay, we need to read what is in there. And if we don't know what is written there, I would say don't eat. For example, gelatina.
Jello, they call it jello, gelatin.
Yeah, okay, yes, that. A lot of people eat that. And I always ask, have you ever read what is in there? People don't even read because they know what is. They don't know and they don't want to know. Because it's scary. So everything that has preservatives and colorant,
color agents, yeah.
Yes, it's better to avoid. Better you eat what we can remove the things and cook than eat the things that are already done.
There was another question that's saying we talked about menses, we talked about PMS and menopause. For people who by choice decide not to have children, is there any extra care that these people should have? Because it said that going through childbirth and having that process, it actually helps to somehow make the system work better. But for people who by choice would decide not to have children, is there any special care that they could have regarding that?
No, I don't see a difference actually. Okay, women with kids or that had kids and women that they didn't, the body, it's a body, and every body works in a different way. Okay, so as I said, be grounded. It's very important. Yes, but special care for those who decided not to have kids, well, they are the same that the ones who had. The same in a way. They are the same. Okay.
That's good.
But there are more questions, or should I continue what I was
No,
saying?
there's no more questions. Sorry.
No,
You can
okay.
go ahead. Yeah.
No, it's okay. It's good because then I continue what I was saying. That the women about the menopause, they put on weight and what to do. Another thing that I said, it was the dryness in the body. Okay, and this apart from the wrinkles. Okay, that I think it's nice. I still don't have them, but I will. And it's nice because it in the sense it's part of us. Okay, it's the same than the white hair. Well, it's part, and I think I feel we should like what we have, and that's a part of being grounded. But when we start to be more dry, one thing in terms of wrinkles that we can do is apply some drops of oil. It can be sesame oil in the nostrils every day in the morning. That helps for the wrinkles, but not only for the gray hair, for the memory. Okay, so just this little thing that can help in so many things. And then when there is vaginal dryness, and this is important because a lot of women have, and then there are problems with the partner, and a lot of people, they feel shy about it and they think there is a problem. No, it's something that it's hormonal. It happens, and a way to prevent it's and in that terms we use the tampon. Put it in oil. It can be sesame oil again, and apply in the vagina every day for 20 minutes around, and that helps.
So pure sesame oil. You don't need to add anything else. Just pure sesame oil.
No. Okay. Pure sesame oil. Yes. For those who don't feel comfortable with tampon, then it can be with a syringe, we said, and a catheter. Okay, and you apply. It can't be only the syringe because then it comes all out. But you need to apply inside a little bit, like four fingers or 3. Okay, and apply like 10 ml. It doesn't need to be much. Okay, it's just to lubricate the area. Okay, so this, and drink a lot of water, obviously, and the primrose oil also helps.
Oh, that's great. I'm not a woman, but I'm loving all these tips and tricks and things that we can do. So I'm sure people are going to really benefit from it. So in the fashion of wrapping up a little bit, and if we look at women who don't have any specific complications that actually need special medical care, if you have to give, I mean, you already gave so many of them, but if you have to give like your top recommendations that every woman should do on a daily basis or on a seasonal basis to make sure that their health is maintained, what would that be from your experience?
Well, every person is a person. And I say this because yesterday I spoke with a lady, and she had breathing problems. So if I tell you, you need to go do exercise, well, if you have a breathing problem, you can't really do exercise, okay? But if we talk about that like in general, Um, One thing I think is very important is to have half an hour for yourself, okay, as a woman, because as I told you, nowadays we live a lot for the family, okay, and it's different for a man and a woman, certain things. As it doesn't mean that the man doesn't help in the house, okay? It's just, I'm talking in the terms of women. So this half an hour, it's the person needs to do something, the woman needs to do something that she feels it's good for her, okay? But see, sometimes it's good for me, like I like to do certain things, okay? But these certain things might not be good for me, okay? What I'm talking is half an hour that it's going to be good for your heart, okay? That will fulfill. And nowadays, with so much publicity of how the women should be dressed, how we should behave, how we should, how our body should be, like it's a lot of pressure that the society puts, or how we should take care of our kids. You know, these are little things, or even the ones who don't want kids. That, oh, you should have kids. You know, when it's the time, when are you gonna have kids? No, I have friends, they don't want kids, you know. So this kind of pressure that the society puts on us, even women between women, okay, it's society in general, this half an hour, it would be good for the woman to learn to love herself. And a way for that to happen, I would say massage is very important, the self-massage, okay? And if there is a place where you don't like your body, that's the main place where you should massage. Massage it, and if you're able to, massage in front of the mirror and keep saying, I love what I have, because it's something that it's important, yes? And when you love yourself, people around you will understand that, okay? And it's important, I would say. So that massage is very important. Or write what you feel. For example, sometimes a situation you didn't like it happens, okay? For example, with a kid. Then write it down. If you don't have anyone, if you don't want to say that to someone or share, then you write, you put it out. Don't keep it in. There are a lot of women that have heart problems, men also, but a lot of women, one of the main reasons is because we keep a lot of things inside. And when we keep the things inside, they stay somewhere. Most of the times they stay in our hearts, in the solar plexus. So that's why we cannot breathe. So write, put it out, and breathe. It doesn't have to be like stop and breathe. No, it can be anywhere. Just deep breathe. I remember when I was younger, a school where it was a very long corridor, and I did that big deep breathing, and my colleagues knew, oh, Veena is coming there, because they could listen me breathing. So that's it. Just breathe whenever you feel your lungs, okay? Feel your heart. And this doesn't take time, again, okay? And say something good about yourself. Like, yeah, even when you do massage. If you don't have the time to do massage, at the end of the day, do the meditation or the simple thing of think how you feel. What are the feelings you have, not judging yourself. And at the end, you can always say good things about yourself, because everyone has good things. So one thing that I think it can help, it's the Ho'oponopono kind of meditation. Have you heard about it?
I've heard it's a native of
Hawaii.
Hawaii, yes.
Hawaii, yes. So it's so simple. It's just 4 words, kind of. It's I'm sorry. No, I sinto muito. How you say? You translate this?
I'm sorry. I feel. I'm so yeah.
Yes, I'm sorry for it. I forgive myself. I love myself, and I'm grateful. And you can say this many times. Once I was doing it, and it came a thought or someone in my mind. It came someone in my mind, and the sorry or the keep on, it was stuck there, and I couldn't say it even in my mind, so I had to kind of work on that, understanding that there is something blocked about this person, about this situation, to let the thing start flow. So this is something that can help, because at the end we say thank you, right? So it's something that also it fulfills our heart. It made sense?
Very much sense.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
So thank you so much for being here discussing this topic with us. I hope that you would be open in the future to come to talk about other things like pregnancy and other things. So I would hope that you accept my invitation to be here again sometime soon.
Thank you.
Okay. Is there anything that you thought that I might not have asked, but you think it would be important to share regarding all these topics that we've been discussing about?
Now I'm not remembering anything. I'm not a person who talks much. I'm usually but I hope I did reply to everything. Yes,
I think it was very good. I think it was wonderful. I think there's a lot of value for people who are watching here. So once again, thank you so much for being here. See you
Thank you for the invitation. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.